Hey everybody, we're going to try a quick standard video, just putting together a deck that I wrote an article for the Amazing Discovery site a little while back. Call it the Cheesy Rice deck. Basically a smallpox deck mixed in with the Birthing Pod deck. We're leaving some Lilianas in the sideboard so that we can go into a more traditional smallpox deck if the situation calls for it. A lot of times, decks bringing in Diagraph Cage turn off your Birthing Pod as well as, your Undying guys and your Grave Crawlers. So you want to be able to have Plan B. Smallpox, of course, one of the main linchpins of the deck, as mentioned in the article. Messenger also really good. You get the zombie sub theme in the Smallpox deck. We're going almost entirely black mana with just the Innistrad duels to play Lingering Souls if we have to cast it from our hand, as well as activating Birthing Pod without paying life should that become necessary. We tried to make the cards like Metamorph something that we can cast on 3, same with Slash Panther that we can cast on 4, because we are sacrificing our lands when we're playing Smallpox, so it's part of the game plan to do that if we have to hardcast them. We've got the Masticorin as an extra discard outlet, also a great way to finish the game, because we will be putting creatures in the graveyard. Pierce Strider, when you sack a Messenger, is really, really good. And Tumor Exarch to bring guys back. We're going to try an Obliterator. I didn't have it in the original list. He's castable, and he's something that I've seen a lot of the junk Birthing Pod lists use, and so we're kind of borrowing from that a bit. I really do like the Slash Panther, as we can use the Entomber Exarch to rebuy a Messenger and recast him, and the following turn just pot away the Exarch for the Slash Panther to get extra damage through. A lot of the times it just makes a little bit of a difference getting through that last couple points of damage. Having a 5 that we can pot into that has haste is really important. The Vengeful Pharaoh is something where you want to discard it to a pod. It takes care of some of the early threats. Kind of time walks you. Not super happy with it, but it's something we can pot into that has Death Touch. Pretty relevant. We switched one of the Dismembers to a Tragic Slip because I found that we were casting the Dismembers by just paying 1 mana most of the time, and it was usually after something died. And so I want to make sure we have more range with the Tragic Slip to take out more of their guys. With the Liliana on the side, we kind of had to stretch the sideboard. Still want to try Trader's Grasp. Big fan of the card. It's something where, if we get our white or green out, depending on the type of deck we're playing against, we can grab answers. It's good for any type of mirror situations where we're playing like a junk pod list, or probably not going to face another smallpox list, but against zombies, it's something that we can bring in when we need to tutor a Messenger. Black Sun Zenith is just good. Board wipe, as is Corrosive Gale versus the Spirit stacks. Legionnaire is another way to get in front of Mirror and Crusader, as is Perilous Mirror. We bring in the Mortar Pods if we go to a more traditional version with Liliana the Veil, so we're trying to be creature heavy in this particular list because of the Birthing Pod. Spellbomb, sure, Graveyard Hate, and Replica, so we can pot into or just Mize and Artifact or Enchantment removal. So we're going to try going into one of the 2-ticket queues just to show you what the deck looks like in action against an unknown opponent. So I'm going to pause and we'll be right back as soon as we've got an unknown opponent. Okay, looks like we've lost the die roll, and we've got a hand that we don't want to keep. It's littered with lands, so we will go ahead and mulligan. This one looks a little better, so we'll keep it. Our opponent's leading off with the Copperline Gorge, probably red-green aggro. We will lead with the Diagraph Goal. It's a 1-of, forgot to mention that when we were building. I just wanted another 1-drop. It's not my favorite card, but it's another zombie. So here comes Strangler Geist. And he's just leaving it back. So we've got both of our Tragic Slips, which is good. I'm thinking we just We're going to run out our land. I don't want to waste 2 tragic slips on the Geist, obviously. We'll probably just play Gravecrawler and pass the turn. I don't think there's any reason to be super aggressive yet. So on 3, he's going to bash in with the... Nope, he's just going to pass the turn. Ah. So I think we're just going to run out our land. We'll come in with the Gravecrawler. And 2 damage. We'll just pass the turn, wait for him to bring some more action. Alright, so we've drawn a Smallpox. I think taking him off his lands is probably the thing to do. Not a lot that we want to discard as of yet. I think we'll just come in with the Gravecrawler. Still does not want to block. We can slip his Geist, Smallpox, and recast the Gravecrawler. It's going to make us discard our Skin Render. I think that's probably what we're going to do. And now we'll cast our Gravecrawler from the graveyard. And pass the turn. So he's got a Daybreak Ranger. We're going to swing into the Daybreak Ranger. Unfortunately, the Ranger's going to flip. But we do have a Tragic Slip for him if he fights something. And if he wants to race, we're still okay. So he's going to Green Sun for 1. I'm thinking we're going to attack with the Gravecrawler. So his play is probably going to be to fight the Diregraph Ghoul. So we'll come in with the Gravecrawler. It's going to block with nothing. Alright. We're going to keep the land in hand in case we draw another Smallpox. Let's see if he fights at end of turn. He does. And he's got a Huntmaster. Misclicked at the end of turn there. We're looking to cast that Tragic Slip, but let's see what we can do now. So we've drawn Birthing Pod. That will let us sack our Gravecrawler to get a thinking probably a Perilous Mirror here. Let's think. Yeah, Perilous Mirror. Well, no, we'll go with a Highborn Ghoul because we're going to flip, and then we'll Tragic Slip away the Huntmaster. We want to be able to rebuy our Gravecrawler next turn. So even though we misclicked, it's not the end of the world. Let's see what he's doing now. He's going to fight before. I guess it's fair. Probably should have saw that coming. Yeah, us not slipping his Daybreak Ranger cost us a bit. Another Huntmaster? Nope. Green Sun for another Daybreak Ranger, probably. Nope. Strangeroot Geist. So we'll take 4. So the Molten Tail Masticore we can pod into. That put us to 5. It's not the best, but can't do anything with the Molten Tail Masticore. So we may as well cast it and pot it away. Don't like the fact that we're showing him cards, but we've got something to block at least. Yeah, I think our opponent having an extra card to start with versus our mulligan definitely is helping. So he's going to have a copy of Strangeroot Geist, which will be exactly lethal. Alright. So against this deck, might like a black Sun Zenith. I don't think we want Vengeful Pharaoh. Can probably do without Slash Panther as well. Porcelain Legionnaire wouldn't be the worst. Doesn't have a lot of non-creature spells, so we can do without the Entomber Exarch. And another Perilous Mirror. We might like a Mortar Pod instead. A couple of Mortar Pods probably wouldn't hurt. Random discard, they empty their hand too quickly. It's probably not going to help. We'll just do something like that. We're going to be on the play. This hand is fine. So we have no turn 1 play. Let's just run out of Woodland Cemetery and pass. Ideally, he plays turn 1 Mana Guy. Sweet. So we're going to get maximum value out of our Smallpox here. And win.